Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. Today we are celebrating Lynda, who is the scrapbooking photographer here on YouTube, and she is celebrating 500 subscribers. So I'm really excited for her. And she also has a group now on Facebook, which I'll have the link in the description box below. And on that group, she is issuing a challenge each month. And so last week, if you remember, or I'm sorry, last month, if you are a regular viewer of mine, you might remember that I challenged some folks to do a self-portrait page that did not have a photograph of them. So I'll pop mine up here in a moment. It was to take pictures of things that represent you, that represent your roles in your life, things that are important to you. And so Lynda took that challenge and then she jumped from that to this one to kind of go along with it, which is to actually scrapbook a photograph of yourself, a real self-portrait. And so I have these two. They were both from February. This one was in Galveston at the hotel before we went on the cruise, and then this was in the scrapbooking area on the cruise. I haven't decided if I'll use one or both. I'm not sure. But I have those, and let me show you what I've chosen to work with. Some of these are just papers that are in my stash that I've been using for the 100 patterned paper challenge for the year. That's what this one is, and this one as well, and this one. So 3 of these are from that stack, so it'll be nice to use those. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these papers, but I'm also doing a challenge from Tina at the 100 pattern paper challenge, and it's to use tags, stickers, and pattern paper that has words on it. So I have 2 different pattern papers here that have words. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to use the wood grain as a background and like cover up the words that don't really fit. I do want to use these stamps because we were traveling and these have to do with travels. I'm kind of basing my color palette off of this striped paper. And what I've done so far is I've cut 3 papers that I know I'm going to use for tags. I might do one more and have them like they're 3 inches across. So if I overlap them, they will fit in a 12 by 12 with just a little bit of border around the edge. So I don't know if I'm just going to keep it to 3 or if I'm going to do a 4th one. And this was just my pattern tag that I used. Here are some things that I pulled from my stash. These are from Color Cast Designs, and several of these colors work nicely. These are from my color bins. So I just went through, I'm not sure that's quite the right green, but I pulled out anything that had this general color palette. I don't know how much of it I will use or not. I've got a butterfly in here, a camera, a little banner, tiny little circles with stars on them. These 2 labels are left from a 49 and Markets kit. So I've got lots of things here to play with. And the layout that I'm using for my inspiration, and I will post that on here as well, was created by my friend Chris. Hers was a 2-page layout. I'm just doing 1. But I loved the little, I don't know if it's really a scene, but I love how she scattered the ephemera all around these big tags. And I want mine to look something like hers. I don't know if I'll reach that goal or not. But anyway, so for a title, I have this piece of acrylic that says Noteworthy, and it was purple. And while that's a beautiful color, it does not go with my papers at all. So I thought, I wonder if I can change the color. So I posted on one of my groups and asked, hey, have you ever changed the color of your acrylic? And so they suggested acrylic paint or some gesso. So I have put 3 coats on here, I believe. And then I am going to paint it with this paper glaze. It's called From Picket Fence. This is one I used the other day and it was almost completely dried up. So I've just added enough water to it that I can paint with it. And we're going to see what happens. So I'm going to get a couple things ready here and then I'll be back with a sped up video and voiceover. So here I am painting this with the paper glaze. It went on pretty rough, but I think that's because it's just too dried out. If I had used one that was more liquidy or smoother, I think it would have worked better. But I still like it. I'll show you what I do in the end with it too. So I'm just pointing out some things here that I really like how she has those stickers on there. And I am building my layout on this inexpensive piece of white cardstock. That helps me build and keep things kind of where I want them. Just checking to make sure that's in the middle. I'm adding a strip of this striped paper to the top and the bottom. Chris had stitched on hers. I did not do stitching on mine, even though I would have loved to. So now I'm adding this, a strip each of the travel word paper. And here are my tags. And this is where I realize I either have to use just the one small photo or I have to make some adjustments. So I made some bigger tags. I trimmed down the larger photo, and between those two adjustments, things work now. I take the yellow tag. I didn't have another piece of that paper. That was all I had, at least that I know of. I guess there could be something stuck in a folder somewhere. But I just cut it apart, made it be the middle one that's getting all covered up, and it worked just fine. So rather than tying strings through the holes exactly, Chris used buttons on her page. I tried to do that, but I didn't have the right color buttons. They were just too bright blue, too bright green. So I went with these really old brads from Stampin' Up. I'm guessing they're 20 or more years old, but I still have quite a few. So I thought this is a great way to get 3 of those onto a page. So I put those in there, and then I just later I tie some string around those brads. Finally, this was a little too bright for me, so I took some Distress Oxide in saltwater taffy and put it over that, and it went on there perfectly. So next time I want to color acrylic titles or image pieces, I will add some either white acrylic paint or gesso, let it dry, and then I will use Distress Oxide because that worked really well. So now I'm going through all these little embellishment pieces I have and just pulling out ones that will work and setting aside things that the color just isn't quite right. So even though we flew down there and then we went on a cruise, I wanted to add the cars because we were on a trip and we did take a shuttle van from the airport down to Galveston, so I thought this could work. And I'm pulling out other pieces. I'm trimming stickers off pretty close so that I can put them where I'm thinking of having them and see what that's going to look like. I have this twine. It's like white string with gold pieces in it. And I don't know where I think I bought it when I was out in Utah a few summers ago at a scrapbook store. In the end, my journaling is going to go on that little sticker, and it will be on the far left. I'm adding these little flags. I had 3 of them, but one was too bright blue, so I just made do with 2 of them. This says today, oops, sorry, my head got in the way there to try to get that straight. I have a little ticket. I cut that apart because I want it in 2 places, and I only have 1 of them. So I just put a little piece on the left, a little piece on the right. This video got really long, so I cut out some of the embellishing. I'm not good at embellishing. It takes me a long time. I fuss a lot with them. I move things around. So I decided I wasn't going to have you watch all of that. So here I am adding just a few stickers. As a reminder, this is for Lynda, who is the scrapbooking photographer here on YouTube. This is for her 500 subscriber hop, so I'm excited about that. Please see her information in the description box below. Also, it is for a challenge on the 100 Pattern Paper Facebook group where we were to use tags, paper with words on it, and something else that escapes my mind right now. I'm sorry. Stickers. And I did use all of those things, and I'll have a link to her group in the description box as well. If you're new to my channel, I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by and for watching my video. I would love to hear from you. If you're a regular viewer, thanks so much. I really am happy that you choose to spend some time watching my scrapbooking videos. We're coming up to the end here. I did add a few little pieces from the stamp paper and then a few of these little pieces from Color Cast Designs. I think they give a little dimension, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Chris, thanks for letting me scrap lift you. I really appreciate it. And for all my viewers, have a great day. I hope you get to scrapbook something very, very soon. And Lynda, congratulations again. Bye-bye.